What is up, fam? It is your boy, the conservative bear, and I'm live. And the topic to today's story is something that is a story that I recently did, I think a few months back, and then I also went ahead and then I followed it up with two other stories. And in one of those others, so I did three stories on Sophie Long, and the first one was the viral video where everybody saw, where Sophie was screaming, not wanting to go with her mother for reasons that we all know that she accused of. Then the second video I followed up on was that Michael Long, her father, had custody of her, and they were doing an investigation on this story. And to the original story, and then after that, I did another story that basically said that Michael Long coached Sophie Long on what to say, and basically she was coached, is what they ended up finding out, and a lot of it was bullshit. So while continuing to follow up on the story and doing what following up on this and staying on it, last night Bree sent me a new updated story from yesterday, and this is on Fox News. So, the Texas girl Sophie Long, seen in viral video of alleged abuse last year, goes missing, believed to have been taken by her father, Michael Long. I am a firm believer in fathers' rights. I do believe that a dad could raise a child just as equivalent as a mother if their families are separated. Of course, was saying that I think a united family is a lot better than a separated family, and we all know that to be the case. But when it comes to this story, there you have, as a father, you have to go through legal course to get custody of your child. You can't just up and decide one day, hey, this isn't working for me, I'm going to go ahead and take off with my kid. It doesn't work that way. We're a country of laws, and when it comes to a country of laws, we got to follow those laws. While a Texas dad who allegedly faked claims of child abuse against the mother of his 10-year-old daughter during a custody battle last year is now accused of abducting the girl. According to authorities, Sophie Long is believed to have been taken by her 42-year-old father, Michael Long, who does not have custodial rights, according to the Texas Department of Public Safety. He took off with her. I'm not. And the sad thing is there's parents that do this. There's parents out there that will coach their kids to get them to say what they want them to say. Unfortunately, for this situation, that's what happened with Sophie. She was coached, and that's what the Texas authorities are saying. And as far as I'm concerned, it's credible. Michael Long created a viral GoFundMe campaign and shared videos in 2020 amid a battle with his ex-wife Kelly Long over custody of their three children. That campaign including a harrowing 20-minute video YouTube, which I showed here last year, titled Stand With Sophie, that showed the girl in apparent distress, saying that she did not want to visit with her mother, Kelly Long, with whom Michael accused of abusing the child. The mother denied those allegations, and last year, a court appointed amicus attorney assigned to represent the child's best interest described the video as self-produced and heavily edited. The attorney recommended that Callie Long be granted sole legal custody. You can't go off and twist. You can't go off and twist words and make children do something. Whether you want the child to be, whether you love, I understand Michael loves his daughter, but you can't use children in this way. You can't just go off and start telling and having kids lie about their other parent. Even if you are going through an ugly, disgusting divorce, you can't do this. You can't coach a child. You have to sit there and love your child and never badmouth the other parent to the child. It's horrible. They're not pawns, exactly. Oside Patriot. The kids aren't pawns. You can't use them to masterfully move things into your favor. It's not right. That's child abuse. To mentally use your child against in a certain way is child abuse. It's wrong. And this is what is being reported that he did. The amicus attorney also found deep concerns over the children's immediate emotional health and safety while in their father's care, and accused him of monetizing the custody battle for his own profit at his kid's expense. That is what is discouraging me when it comes to Michael Long. That's the deep concern. He was monetizing the custody battle. He was using it to work his way. No matter how much you hate the other person, and trust me, I know that feeling. You can't use kids this way. You can't sit there and call social services every 5 minutes just to get on your ex's nerves. It's not right. Children are little people, are people. They're not pawns. They're not ways to use to affect a custody battle. You can't do this to a kid. It messes them up emotionally and mentally. It's not the best way to go about this. If you have those concerns, you don't coach your kid. You fight that out in a legal sense. You don't use edited video to make yourself look like the savior of people, of your children. No matter how much you hate the other parent, no matter how much you despise them, you made that decision as an adult to get in that bed with that person without using protection, or you married that person. That was a choice that you made. Now these kids got to suffer your mental abuse doing it this way, and then monetizing it to get GoFundMe, which you got $200,000 for. The attorney also claimed that GoFundMe fundraiser had raised more than $200,000 based on fraudulent accusations against Sophie's mother. When accessed Wednesday, it's closed to new donations. At one point, Callie Long was forced to hide out with her children at a hotel from a gun-carrying, angry social media mob who had been given her home address, prompting a Frisco police to publicly state Sophie was safe with her mother in order to help calm the situation, according to Rotson law firm of Keller, Texas. You set an angry mob, dude. This could have ended up so much worse for your child. It's insane what you've done, Michael. It's insanity. You've basically put your own kids at risk with an angry mob trying to go save them. Can you imagine if this would have gone wrong? When keeping it real goes wrong, this could easily have turned bad for your kids. What if they would have got a hold of your daughter's mother and killed her in front of them? Then what? Now she has to live with the scars of seeing her own mother murdered and the fear of having to see a bunch of people going after her mother. It's a shame to see what people are willing to do. And I was a victim of it. I was caught up in the press of this Michael Long story that was all about it, and I made a video about it. And I can honestly say I was caught up in it too. Because I'm all about saving kids. I'm all about trying to protect them. I'm all about exposing pedophiles. I'm all about covering these stories. And I got caught up in it. And I released a video. Just to find out it was all a lie. And the sad thing about it, and I'm also considering taking down that video simply because people are still continuing to watch that video. It's my biggest video on this channel. And it's based on a lie. But at least I'm mad enough to go off and admit, hey, this was not the story. Like I said, I made 2 different videos on it. And it's sad to see what's going on. And now Michael Long goes and kidnaps his daughter and is on the run, possibly headed to Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Mexico, or Argentina. And if he's in Texas, so he's probably already in Mexico if he went that route with his kid illegally. Experts believe that Michael Long's actions form a textbook example of parental alienation, a type of child abuse in which he consistently used psychological manipulation to turn the children against the other parent. Spokesman for Rodzon did not immediately respond to Fox News' request for immediate comment on Wednesday. Sophie is 5 feet tall, weighs about 95 pounds, according to authorities. She has blue eyes, blonde hair, and a scar from a burn on one of her arms. Michael is 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighs about 205 pounds, has green eyes, blonde hair. They were last seen in Seguin, Texas on July 12th. Investigators said they believe Long could be trying to take his daughter to Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Mexico, or Argentina. He may be driving a 2010 Ford Edge SUV or a gray van with tinted windows, a NRA sticker, and a black roof rack, according to authorities. You can't be doing this. No matter how much you hate the other parent, you can't just go off and kidnap them. There's legal ways to go about getting this. Maybe the courts were finding out that he was full of shit and he was going to get charged with child abuse. So he went on the run. Maybe there was other reasons why he decided to take her on the run. But you can't kidnap your kid. No matter how much you want to, no matter how much you want to protect him, there's a legal way to go about it. Whether he followed it or not, the court has to rule on it. I certainly understand. Even if he did follow it, the courts have to rule on it. That is still kidnapping, according to the state. The state has already said it's a kidnapping case. There are police already looking for him. It is kidnapping. Whether you want to defend it or not, it is kidnapping. A court has to be ruled on it. A judge has to sign off on it. Whether it's still going through the appeals, whether it's still going through the court system, there's a current order for him. He has to follow it until the Court of Appeals rules on it. And if he hasn't, they haven't ruled on it, the current order is still in effect. That is how law works. That's why Cosby was still in prison until the Court of Appeals ruled, and then they released him. There's ways that you have to go about it. You can't just take off. It is kidnapping. And I know this because I went through it. Yes, I've gone through this with my own kids. I know a little bit about uh, parental rights and law, and you can't take off with your kid if there's a current order, whether your appeals are going. And it's sad, man. It's sad. It's so sad to see that kids being used as pawns in a bitter divorce case. It's sad to see that little Sophie, who's been through so much, having to go through this bickering between the mother and the father. And especially coming from a man who's what, 30? He's in his 30s? Maybe his 40s? Are you kidding me? You have other kids, bro. If he's 42 years old, he should already know better. And plus, if the mother was so bad, okay, here's the thing. If the mother is so bad and all these allegations came out from the mother during the video and he made all these accusations, why did he leave his other kids with the mother? Why did he only take one? That is another thing that pops into my head when it comes to this case. If you're sitting there and he did make a horrible accusations when it comes to the other kids as well, he only took off with the one? He only took off with the one. Think about that for a second. If the mother's boyfriend is so terrible, why would you leave your other kids behind while you take off with the other one? And you can't tell me that the abuse was only going on with Sophie, that she was the only one that was vocal about it. No, dude, you made other complaints about the other kids that the stepfather was doing to all the kids, and yet you leave them behind and take off with one? You want to sit there and tell me your concern was only for Sophie? That makes me wonder your intelligence as a father. Coming from a father. I have 4 kids myself. And trust me, if my ex-wife's when things went on and things were going on in my own personal life, I was trying to take my other kids too. I'm not going to take off and leave my other kids behind with the monster. It's not how you work as a dad. As a dad, you work hard to get all your kids if they're in that situation, because the abuse ain't going to stop if you take off with Sophie. Hell no. The abuse is going to go on to the next child. Then you take that one. Then the abuse is going on to the next child. Then you take that one until they're all taken. No, you got to sit there and fight for all of them. You don't just take off to a state with only one kid. A real man steps up and takes care of all his kids. That's a man. To me, this rings red flags everywhere. Red flags are ringing everywhere, especially with the accusations he made with the other kids. This is crazy. How many dads do I have in here? Press a 1 if you're a dad. And then press another 1 if you would take off and leave your 3 other kids behind. Or do a 1 and a 2 if you're a dad and you would take your kids with you. Take a 1 and a 1 if you're a dad and you would leave the other kids behind. No dad would do that. Every dad I know would sit there, every real dad I know would sit there and fight for all of them. It's crazy on what you see going on in this world, where this really does ring red flags to me. Don't you guys agree? This rings red flags to you? Why would you take off with 1 and leave the other ones behind? It doesn't make sense. You got to sit there and you got to defend your other kids. Your job as a dad is to sit there and protect them all, not kidnap one and take off out of state. That's what your job is to do as a father. Thanks, Oside. Even mothers. I know there's a bunch of mothers in the chat. If you're a mother, you would also do the same thing. You would sit there and fight for your kids to protect them from any harm. You wouldn't just leave one behind. That's why, to me, Michael is a scumbag, and you could tell he's coaching up these kids. He's a scumbag. And I'll do a retraction because I'm that kind of man if it comes out that there was something else going on. But the way it's looking, I don't think there's anything going on. Poor Sophie, 5, what is she? She's 5 feet tall. I think she's like 10. And she's put in the middle of the crosshairs of horrible people. You got to stand for all of them. And you can't be taking advantage of the judicial system in this way. Parental alienation is not a good thing to do to your kids. Parental alienation only causes other issues. That's why you have kids that have daddy issues. You have kids that have mommy issues. You have parents that have other kids that have all these issues because they have parental alienation. And most of the time, it's a mother keeping it from the father. But now this douchebag is having to throw a wrench in the whole system and have to be a douchebag dad and doing it to the mother. Can't do this to kids, man. Kids are innocent. Exactly. He's not a real man. He's a coward. I just wish that kids could just be kids. In this day and age, man, you're putting too much pressure on kids. In this day and age, you're putting a lot of pressure on kids to make decisions that they shouldn't have to make. And just like I said, I'm guilty of some of this too. We're humans. But I never once thought about taking off with my kid and leaving the other ones behind. It's not the way it's supposed to work. Your job is to take care of your kids and fight it out in court. Prove evidence that these parents are that the dad was doing that the stepfather was doing this. That's your job. Not taking off, man. Michael Long he's gonna go to prison. I guarantee you he's gonna go to prison. Especially if he crossed state lines, the FBI is going to be behind him. The FBI is going to go after him because there is such a thing as parental kidnapping. It's a law. You could be charged with parental kidnapping. And if you go across state lines with the kid, especially our international lines, you're screwed. You have just screwed yourself. Especially with a big profile case like Sophie Long. Everybody knows Sophie Long. I promise you, my biggest video on this channel is Sophie Long. Getting views every single day. And it was just a bullshit story. I'm trying to find it now. I'll tell you the numbers straight up. That's my biggest story is Sophie Long. And it's crazy because you see if I would have been more observant, I would have saw that this was bullshit. And a lot of people are still watching it. It's crazy. I'm trying to find it. Jeez, was it that long ago? Let's see. There it is. Over 24,000 views on this video. It's 10 minutes long. I think it's crazy. Over 24,000 views on this video. Views every single day. Crazy. Am I not right? That's crazy. Over a lie. That's how mad this man has gotten this. And the sad thing is the comments. People actually care. This made me cry. It's heartbreaking because it's a lie. All these people up in their emotions and it's all for a lie. Having other people pop out and defend. It's sad. You could read the comments. This baby was begging for help just a month ago. Stop, please. This made me cry a month ago. This is the reason why I don't like my dad and I casually want to live with my mother's mother. This broke my heart. Every day there's other comments in this. If I could help you, I would. This is the heartbreaking stuff. To think that this is what's going on in this world, man. And people lying, he's lying. This whole thing is a bunch of lies. All of this is a bunch of lies. I don't even know who Chivo is, so why don't you go on his channel? God, what's funny when you get trolls in your chat, man? It's funny because you see real people on who they are. Obsessed with the channel. If I'm so boring, why are you in here, dude? And he'll be back. He'll be back. So yeah, dude, that's what I want to say, guys. Is I want to let you guys know that when it comes to the Sophie Long case, she's missing. The dad took off with her. The entire situation in this case is heartbreaking, and it's all a lie. Every single bit of this was a lie. And I hope you guys stay tuned. I'm gonna keep making videos. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. Getting the footing back into this is taking a couple of days to get back into it. But we'll definitely keep rocking and rolling and keep making videos. But if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing, smash that like button, share this video, let people know that Michael Long is a freaking horrible person. Share this on your Facebook, share this on your Twitter. Help let people know what the real story is behind the Sophie Long case. I got to roll. I hope you guys have a good day. God bless. And as always, deuces.